Bad credit. Second chance banking question. What's up with this guy? I have terrible banking history. Several times I opened up bank accounts and still owe money for a lot of them. I'm about to start a new job in a couple of days and I need direct deposit and would like to start fresh. I don't know if you'll be able to start fresh if you still owe these guys money, but however, due to my credit, I am being instantly declined by every online bank I come across. I know of a couple second chance banking opportunities, but they require initial deposits of 25 apples, 25 monkeys, 25. Can I open an account and pay the initial deposit later? I don't have $25 right now. Oh, it's dollars. Dollar dues right now, and need a direct deposit, routing, or account number as soon as possible for my employer. Can you borrow the money? I can't see any bank willing to open up an account with an initial deposit. Where do you live? I live in Missouri. I asked for a check, but my boss said that direct deposit was the only way. I want to buy less house than my spouse, but perhaps I'm too conservative. Yeah, I don't know why housing is such a sensitive issue for a lot of people. I think it has a lot to do with the marketing behind all that stuff. I'm sure if you follow like other finance channels or finance blogs, they talk a lot about housing and how such a good thing it is, and like how good of an investment it is. It depends. Like everything with finance, it's not cut and dry. Definitely not every house you're looking at or that you're going to buy is going to be a good deal. It's the same thing with stocks. It's the same thing with any financial product you're looking into. It's not going to be the best based on like your needs or your spouse's needs, because you might have differing opinions like this person here. Let's see. Married, early 30s, 2 kids with a third on the way. Medium-sized city in the Midwest with relatively LCLO. That's right. I don't know what that is. Lieutenant Colonel. Yep, they got a low cost of living. Okay. Combined salary of $200K per year gross. Both kids in daycare and the third will be as well. Currently live in a $130K 3-bedroom house with $100K left on the mortgage. Value of the house has increased to approximately $160K since purchasing. It's pretty good, guys. No debt other than the mortgage. We initially moved into our current house when we were only making $90K a year gross, and we have always intended to move up and blah, 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 blah. Our income slowly grew. Jeez, man. All right, 529, blah, blah, blah. I'm concerned about being stretched thinner than I would like. That being said, our gap should rebound as we continue to move up in our careers and as kids become older and no longer require daycare. For example, when the 3 kids are no longer in daycare, our gap will eventually increase by $2K a month. At that point, our gap will once again be very comfortably large. My question is, am I being too conservative by wanting to purchase in the $275 to $350K range, or should I ease up and save and cave to my partner's $450K? What is a comfortable sized gap to others earning the same amount of money? I mean, with any question like this, it sort of really depends on the two people and how they get along, really. We don't know anything about each of their personalities or what their long-term goals are together and even separately. Maybe they have differing goals for certain things. Finances is like, what is that? Like the number one driving cause of divorce. I mean, we all hear it. Is it actually though? Let me see. Number one cause of divorce. 10 most common reasons why people get divorced. We're not reading this. Getting in for the wrong reasons. Lack individual identity. Becoming lost in the roles. Not having a shared vision of success. I guess that ties into money a bit. The intimacy disappears. Unmet expectations. Finances. Why is this number 7? This should be like number 1. It's not usually the lack of finances that cause the divorce, but the lack of compatibility in the financial arena. Yeah, I agree. Opposites can attract, but when two people are opposites in the financial department, divorce often ensues. Imagine the conflict. If one is a saver and one is a spender, one is focused on the future, while the other believes in living for today. Like, let's say you're a spender, right? And you're going off to find, I don't know, Mr. or Mrs. Right. If you also find a spender, you're both just going to be broke all the time. So I don't think people should. You don't want to be identified as a spender. You want to be identified as financially responsible. It's not whether you're a saver or a spender. It's just sort of like, this person is financially responsible. This person is super irresponsible because they don't want to think about the future. Now, we've all been there. We've all been at a point where we didn't appreciate the fact that what we can do with money is, a lot of things. It can enhance our personalities, it can enhance our abilities, our skills, it can change people's lives. I want to say usually for the better, despite what most people in media talk about. You find a lot of spenders because they see spending money as sort of like it's either as an escape or an excuse to not address like underlying problems within themselves or things that they've just been putting off their entire lives, You don't need to go full on spender or full on saver, you know? You can find a balance. It's always hard for most people to find that balance. But being out of touch, literally, talking about physical contact, doesn't that go in with whatever? This article's stupid. It's not the end of the world, to be honest. I'm sure they're going to be able to work this out. If she was thinking like a million, that's like a super red flag. But the difference is really only like 100 or 150K difference, honestly, between what they both want. But anyway, let's see what some people say. Too long to read all that, but I saw 200K combined income, 450K price home. Based only on that, yes, you're being very conservative and can easily afford 450K home. Sure. Yeah, I agree. This person is being very conservative, but I think that's totally fine. Honestly, like, I don't want to buy a house until, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to buy it. Me personally, I don't want to buy a house until I have maybe like 75% or 80% of that money just to buy it. Otherwise, like, I think renting is fine in general, just because you don't have to you really don't have to take care of the place. You end up spending that money in taxes anyway if you own that house. I mean, I know taxes are going to be a lot cheaper than rent in general, but I think most of the time it's like, if I'm going to spend money anyway, I might as well just put it towards something I don't really care about with housing. Just because if you can't afford it, it's like, I don't know, everyone's position is different. But yeah, I think for this person, 275 to 350K is definitely reasonable. 450K that's also in the realm of doable, depending on their expenses and everything. I don't want to get too deep into this one person, honestly. You can save enough to contribute more to your children's college funds or some sort of trust fund for them. I'd say to go conservative. I think by default, I'd always say go conservative. Like, you can never go too conservative if you get exactly what you want, you know? If you're getting exactly what you want, like out of a product or service, and you don't have to spend more to get it, I say, yeah, go for it every time, honestly.